So Sincere Brown is in the transfer portal. He has been for a little while. He hasn't emerged out of the transfer portal yet. He will at some point. Now, what he's waiting to see, and this is a recruitment I want you to keep your eye on, Colorado's spring game. He's going to visit Boulder for the Buff spring game, and Sincere Brown is someone who can come in and help a receiving core that's not exactly the same as last year. Anytime you lose Travis Hunter, you're losing a big chunk of your wide receiving core. But Sincere Brown is someone who, when you talk about development over the course of his career, he's stuck it out. He's looking for his third school, but it could be the biggest season of his career. He could turn it into an NFL opportunity. He really could, because there aren't that many guys who are 6'5", 180 pounds and have the sort of playing experience that Sincere Brown does. So he began his career at South Florida. He was not a highly touted recruit. He was probably a little bit thin, too wiry, not able to be as physical as he needed to be in the eyes of the scouting world. And he went to South Florida and didn't go exactly as planned. He's most recently played for Campbell. Now, Campbell is an FCS program. And Campbell, their mascot, I kid you not, I can't make this up, guys. I cannot make this up. Campbell's mascot are the Camels. They are the Campbell Camels. If that doesn't make you what, he could go from a camel to a buffalo. This is an epic mascot transfer potential just on the surface. Now, there are other schools that are reportedly reaching out to him from big conferences, like Kentucky has reportedly reached out. I'm interested to see where he winds up, because I think he's someone who comes in and can make an impact right away. I don't know that he's, a 12 to 1,500 yard wide receiver, but if he goes to the Big 12, I don't see why Sincere Brown. How many 6'3" corners are matching up with this guy on the outside in the Big 12? How many? I don't know that there are a ton, or that every team in the conference has those players just stacked up and ready to go for a 6'5" big-bodied receiver on the outside who doesn't just have yards after catch skills, but has great ball skills, high points the ball very well. You get a 6'5" guy that can high point it. You can do a variation of the Kirk Cousins to Justin Jefferson, which goes something like this, censored of course. Screw it, Justin Jefferson's down there somewhere. Well, screw it, Sincere Brown is going to be down there somewhere. This is a guy who this past year at Campbell had 61 catches, over 1,000 yards, 12 touchdowns. I don't know that a Big 12 school like Colorado or anyone else brings him in and expects him to be a number one wide receiver, but could he be a number two? I really don't see why not. And so a guy he reminds me of, speaking of Colorado, is Amarion Miller, who also has great length, and Brown is actually taller than Miller by a couple of inches. Everybody, I don't understand how heights get mixed and matched. You look on the roster and it says one thing. You look on ESPN, it says another. 24/7 says another. I don't really get how all of that works, but I digress. So 6'5", 185 pounds, but he's really good after the catch. I like his length. I like his athleticism. I like his ball skills. So I see a lot of Amarion Miller here, and Colorado now has this gaping void where Travis Hunter, who won the Biletnikoff last season, whether you think he should have or not, he was still easily one of the 3 to 5 best wide receivers in all of college football. Teteroa McMillan of Arizona was the best wide receiver in all of college football, but Travis Hunter wins the award. It's not as if he didn't deserve to be a finalist. So you've got a big hole production-wise that you've got to fill. And certainly, I'm sure Colorado has guys on the roster or players they brought in via the portal who they like, but there's a reason they're bringing this guy on campus for a visit. Kentucky has given him a look. There's reportedly, according to Pete Nakos of On3, an ACC school who has also given him a look. Visits are lined up all over the place, and right now, before the portal's open, this is one of the more high-profile wide receivers that is out there. So Colorado, Kentucky, ACC school or two perhaps getting into the fold. He just had the best season of his career, and he's trying to capitalize on it. His first 3 years, he failed to hit a Pro Football Focus grade of 60. Did not hit 60. All of a sudden, 72.2 this past year for the Camels and 1,000 yards and 12 touchdowns. Yeah, that'll get you some looks. So interested to see where he goes, but I'm also just interested to see how this Colorado offense unfolds, because so much of what they did was not just Shedeur Sanders, but also Travis Hunter. But really, the two of them. It's not as if they were separate. A quarterback running back tandem. Like when Drew Aller and the running backs at Penn State eventually move on, that's a different sort of void and departure than Shedeur Sanders to Travis Hunter. Anybody could flare the ball to Nick Singleton and Katron Allen or hand it off to him behind a good offensive line. Not everybody can make the throws that Shedeur Sanders was able to, or deal with an offensive line that, for the Buffs' sake, I pray is better than it has been the last couple of years, that can just deal with getting sacked all the time for 2 seasons. He was the most sacked quarterback, I believe, in all of college football the last couple of years. Not everybody can deal with that and also have that sort of connection with Travis Hunter. Where does the Buffs offense go? I knew their identity a year ago was not in running the football. Are they going to be able to do more of that this year? Will they need to do more of that? Are they going to be able to throw it around the yard? And of course, who's starting a quarterback? Is it Juju Lewis, incoming blue chip true freshman, or is it Caden Salter, the Liberty transfer, who I think is good but not great? He can throw it. That's someone you could run an air raid offense with. Both of those guys are, quite frankly. So keep your eye on Sincere Brown. That's a recruitment that will pop up again here on the show whenever he decides to commit. Another name to keep your eye on, Savion Red. So he was at Nevada this past year, began his career at Texas as a wide receiver, made the move. He once upon a time generated some buzz for the Longhorns in the backfield, even though they had a bunch of other talented guys. He's in the transfer portal. He was the Wolfpack's leading rusher this past year, just under 700 yards and 8 touchdowns. Has some receiving capabilities as well. They didn't use him a ton out of the backfield this past year necessarily. I don't know where Red goes. He's a 3-star recruit coming out of high school and has an experienced college career at this point. He's got a red shirt in there, had another season at Texas, a year at Nevada. Now he's in the portal again. Coming out of high school, Kansas, TCU in the Big 12, SMU now in the ACC, all recruited him. Don't know if they get back into the fold. Haven't been able to track down where he goes. The reason I bring him up is another guy who I have sung the praises of on this show several times before, deservedly so, is TJ Harden. And right now, these two guys, I don't know that either one goes somewhere to a Power 4 school and be a bell cow back. I do think both are looking for a Power 4 opportunity to at least be either a high-end handoff sort of guy, Jalen Warren to Najee Harris on the Steelers, or just a number 2 that's involved in the offense, right? Maybe not an even split, but at least has a chance. I like both these guys, and I think in a pinch, they can both be capable Power 4 starting running backs. Maybe not high-end, maybe not winning the Heisman Trophy or the Doak Walker Award, but I do think that they're a couple of running backs that are in the portal, and TJ Harden's still waiting to find a home. They are experienced, they're veteran, they're incredibly solid, and if that sounds like something you think your team needs, well, that's what the transfer portal's there for. Appreciate everyone listening. I will see you next time. Until then, hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.